Well, hi there. Welcome to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And we love to, improve your home and maybe improve your life at the same time.
At the same time, we're going to do both things.
2 for 1.
Yeah, and you know what's coming real hard and real fast, don't you?
I know.
I was at the big box hardware store just the other day, and guess what I saw? I saw
Christmas trees.
Yes! How dare you say it? Yes!
Slow down there, Flicka.
We got sleds and deer and lights, and it's all coming.
I
just put away the Halloween business.
I know. Well, me too. But guess what's coming up next? It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we have enough time between now and, close to the end of the month when it comes to basically pace ourselves and not feel stressed. Thanksgiving is pretty awesome, don't you think?
It is awesome, and I think that, your point to take the stress out of it is all about organization and trying to figure out, who's going to come, get your early confirmations, book now or you're out, basically.
Oh, geez.
Is what we're going to say, right?
So now we know we are getting close to knowing, and let's come up with some really easy, really beautiful Thanksgiving table settings, because I think that makes it so cozy and so warm and welcoming, you know?
Yeah.
So let's talk about color palette. I mean, when you set your table for your family, do you go with kind of like the autumn colors?
It kind of depends on a couple of things. Number one, if I'm using sort of, art stuff from the kids, sometimes I'll do that. We'll do little placemats based, we've actually put the clear plastic film over some of their drawings from school. That's really
cute.
That's great. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll take existing flowers that are still blooming in my yard, and I'll make that the centerpiece.
Nice.
Sometimes I'll just bring stuff because we always use the fancy china, right? Sometimes I'll just bring the tradition. It just kind of depends who's coming. Sometimes it'll even be paper plates if I don't really care about anyone who's at the table. It's just here, put your hands this way in a cup.
Aww.
Here's the mashed potatoes.
That's the spirit. Well, so yeah, for me growing up, I think that we had the traditional, it always was about the kids' table. That was where all the fun was really happening. The card table that was folded up at the end to extend your regular dining room table. But I love the idea of adding some different colors. And my mom would do this. We would have your basic cornaplanty kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But she would add in some purples and neon green and different colors. And that is really trending now to kind of bring in some pop. It's almost kind of retro.
So you're bringing in what? What would be a flower that would be an example of that?
Well, you could bring in, I don't know, whether it's real or artificial, some mums.
You're bringing the mums.
That are some burgundy mums, or you could totally go artificial. When you go to the artsy craft stores, they have all of the really beautiful kind of purples and neon greens, and then, of course, some candles of those colors. I love all that idea, and then even a tablecloth with that. So just kind of be thinking not just your stereotypical, even think of like blue. Blues and greens can still work for Thanksgiving, like with feathers, peacock feathers, for instance.
That's pretty. Yeah. That'd be really nice. Yeah, you can buy the peacock feathers at the art supply store, right?
You can.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And while you're there, you can get, you're going back to the traditional, you can get the kind of feathers that look almost like pilgrim times. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can bundle those, let's say, in a vase and just put that in a hurricane vase with some acorns or different seeds and nuts that you could buy in the produce section.
Yeah, that's really
And
pretty.
kind of prop them up.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can almost even use those nuts and the acorns to have enough density to them so that it'll actually hold candles coming up out of them.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be really pretty.
Now you are the you're the pine cone god.
I'm a pine cone king, yeah. Some say that's true.
And so if you were lucky to have pine cones in your yard, or maybe next time you're taking a great walk, you just find some pine cones on the street, and it's okay for you to take them. A nice pine cone, even I think in a little coffee mug. Let's say that it's dessert time, and everyone has a little pine cone, sitting in the mug before you get ready for the next phase of the meal.
Yeah, that's actually really cute.
Especially in white china.
Now I got to tell you, after spray painting my son's ceiling fan costume with this silver spray paint, I found this line of spray paint that's just unbelievable.
What's that?
I can't remember the brand, but I will put it on the website. It comes in spray silver, spray copper, and spray gold.
Is it Rust-Oleum?
No, it's a specialty one I got at an art supply store, and I can't remember the brand again. But you spray the pine cones with any of those colors, right? And that can transition from now all the way through the Christmas season. So you can do the pine cones or any of the dried nuts or acorns and spray them, different metallic shines to them. It's gorgeous, really, really pretty.
Awesome.
So that wouldn't be a bad way to go. And that takes really like 10 minutes, you're done.
If you still have your pumpkins around, especially if you bought some of those white pumpkins, now you can take those to the dining room table and then have some really thick, chunky white pillar candles, and then some of the metallic pine cones that you talked about, or even then make turn some gourds into this beautiful bling of coppers or golds and silvers. And so now you have white pumpkins, white candles in the hurricane vases, and then a little pop of metal.
Can I tell you that I've never seen a gourd go bad?
I know. What's up with that?
I've never seen that. I just realized that. I've seen pumpkins, come like deflate from being rotten, but I've never seen a gourd rotten.
I know. It's weird.
They might not even be of this planet. They last forever.
They do seem to last for a while, and a lot of times those the butternut squash seems to last a really long time.
Sure does.
Or at least it looks that way from the outside. You know. Now think of golds and ambers. I mean, those also pair beautifully with the browns and oranges of the fall for Thanksgiving. So let's say maybe you have not only some candles and your pumpkins and whatever table settings that you have in terms of your tablecloth and napkins and so forth. But I love the idea of some of these glasses that have almost like an amber or a gold just tint to them. And when the light shines through, it just kind of feels really warm.
Oh yeah,
and fallish.
It's just the spirit of the holiday, isn't it? Great. Now you know what we did one year that was so fun.
What was that?
We each made Native American headdresses out of construction paper, and we cut feathers and glued them on, and everybody tried to make the fanciest headpiece with their name on it.
Cute.
So you sit there at the table, and then everyone has
kid.
one of these things, and every table's the kid table.
That's fun.
That's a really fun idea.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Even Grandma and Grandpa got into it.
Grandma had
right?
one that was so bizarre and awesome, I couldn't even believe it. It was very tiny little feathers, but it almost looked like a flapper girl from the 20s. It's great.
All right, well, some more centerpiece ideas, because again, it's about doing things that combine maybe a little bit of nature, some things from the produce section, some candles, and then some bling. And then after you add all these textures together, I mean, you're golden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even spraying branches, you go out and break off some twigs.
I love those,
Spray them silver, copper, or gold, and then have those come out of bud vases. Beautiful. Very simple, austere, just great.
Now, the idea of maybe adding a little bit of the old-fashioned story of Thanksgiving to your table, like giving it almost like the Pinta and the Maria and all the ships right there on your tablecloth. We'll talk about how you can basically turn a centerpiece into one of those little ships. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
That's kind of cute,
yeah. Using nuts and some snackies. Anyway, we got the tips for you coming up next. Eric Stormer, Cindy Dole, we have some more great Thanksgiving table setting ideas that you can do right now to keep the stress away. Keep it here. You're listening to Home Wizards. Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And you're asking about what kind of flowers could we use for Thanksgiving for the table setting that would not necessarily be the stereotypical colors, like mums. There are also calla lilies and dahlias that come in a rich burgundy.
You're just trying to match up the color of a fine Chardonnay or fine Cabernet.
Well, kind of.
Or
maybe
Petit
that's
Syrah, maybe. I don't know. Something
maybe
goes
that
with
is
turkey.
Maybe that is kind of a symbol.
I think it kind of
think cranberry sauce, right? But I love the idea of burgundy then with kind of a chartreuse. They actually sell these chartreuse mums.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to figure out.
The chartreuse.
Yeah.
Because they're the little tufts, they look like little fluffy tufts.
Yeah.
And when you put that with the,
they're almost fluorescent, right?
They are.
Gorgeous.
And then with this kind of burgundy, really rich wine-colored calla lily and dahlias.
That's tasteful. And then throw in some silver, or gold stuff on the table.
Beautiful
Forget
centerpiece.
it.
But let's say if we did want to think about, those three ships for Thanksgiving Day. Can we make a ship?
Coming to the new world.
Yes.
Well, it could be a little bread basket
with tea, of course.
With fresh teas. Yeah. It could be a little maybe 6 or 8 inch by 4 inch wood boxes, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get yourself like maybe a 3 foot by 3/8 wooden dowel, right? And then you're going to just get a 3/8 inch drill bit and drill right in the center of that wood bread box. And then you can go ahead and glue that dowel right in there with regular wood glue. Kind of hold it for a moment so it dries. And that dowel wants to be about 4 times taller than the box, right? So it looks like a tall sail.
Okay.
And then you can actually take paper and cut it in the shape of a sail and then do 2 sides to it. And you could actually, either write stuff on it like the family name or all the guests that are there or whatever, and then it sort of becomes,
or the menu maybe,
or maybe even the menu. That's a cute idea. And then in that box you could actually have breadsticks or some
snacks.
kind of garnish, snacks, whatever.
Love
maybe
it.
a handful of mixed nuts, and then it becomes 3 ships, and then it sort of symbolizes the tale of Thanksgiving.
Cute.
It's at that point, though, that you have to determine how you're going to explain the whole holiday. I mean, is it that these lovely folks showed up and created a new world, or does it become this whole other politically incorrect thing? So that's your call. But I'm just telling you how to make the chips.
I like just to think of happy things. It's the happy festival.
Turkeys and friends. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't want to have to go there.
No, I understand.
So, but yeah, and think of other ways in terms of making your table come to life. You talked about personalizing the sale, with everyone's names or something like that.
Sure.
You can also come up with some cute little personal name tags at each setting by using, I love the idea, using a wine cork and then just putting a little slit in it, and then now that holds the name tag right on each individual plate.
Oh, that's good.
And then positioned that. You could buy some of these pre-cut at the stationery store, these cute little pieces of paper, and then you and you could even print out each person's name. Have it then just sitting right in.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you like assigned seating if you go to a party when people just put you next to someone that you may not necessarily know? Do you like that, or would you rather just find your own seat?
I like to have assigned seating.
You do?
Uh-huh. Because I think that it forces you to talk to people that you may not talk to normally. In fact, my husband and I did this fun thing once where we went out to dinner with several friends, and there was this view that only like maybe 2 people would get. And so what we did was each course we rotated.
Oh, that's cute.
And so then not only did it force conversation with people that you don't talk to that aren't sitting right next to you, but it mixed everything up and everyone got the view of the ocean.
That's actually very nice.
So how about doing that? I mean, now you're basically saying each course, okay, switch seats. It becomes like a game.
That'd be fun.
Kind of cute.
Yeah.
And think too, we talk.
But you've been stuck at like weddings and stuff where it's like, oh God, please don't make me sit. Oh no, I'm sitting next to John.
No, usually people I think come up with really strategic table settings because the people that are hosting these things, they know that you're not going to like sit next to John. They don't want that.
But you got someone's got to, so you might as well have it be Eric.
Okay. Well, because Eric's the conversationalist. Everyone likes Eric. Okay. All right, so now let's talk about some other great centerpiece ideas for Thanksgiving. You mentioned just the simplicity of twigs. Which you can get at the arts and crafts store or in the garden centers. They have these beautiful branches, that just can look so simple and elegant. But then you can also get kids involved by getting construction paper and maybe a stencil and cutting out little leaves and then gluing those to the twigs.
See, that's cute. Even or the traditional hand print turkey.
To talk us through this. I haven't done it for.
So this is great. So all you got to do is take your hand. Spread your fingers apart.
Haven't
put your
done
hand,
this forever.
Put your hand down on a piece of paper and then trace around the outside of the hand. Cut it out, and then you want to leave maybe 2 little legs, or you can amend that later. Just 2 little stick legs coming down the bottom of the hand, and then your little beak comes out of the thumb, and then your little turkey gobbler thing hangs down from below the beak. And that's your hand turkey.
So you're going to add that to the construction paper that you've used, that you've cut out the hand.
Yeah, you're going to amend it. Or if you want to get fancy, you can draw it in there before you cut it out. But generally, it's easier to just glue on a little turkey gobbler because they're kind of thin and gobblish. And then the little feet on the bottom. And those can have the name of each guest.
Those are your place settings.
There it is.
Very cute.
Right?
And everyone could have a fun turkey name.
And then guess what? You get to take it home. And have it in your own home. These are some of the parting gifts you get.
All right. Now also leftover Halloween pumpkins and gourds can also be made over with, if you haven't already, sprayed them gold or silver or copper leaf.
Yeah.
Especially if you have faux pumpkins or funkins, bring those to the dining room table. And now it takes on another level. You've got some sparkle, you've got a vase of flowers or candles. It doesn't feel like Halloween. It feels like harvest.
No, but I got to tell you, last night, taking the garbage out, the pumpkin. I tried to pick it up to throw it in, and it was gone.
Collapsed.
And it was in my hand, and it just sort of fell into itself. And boy, they go so fast.
You carved
after you carve them.
Yeah. See, well.
So the little ones seem to do better.
Yeah.
If you don't touch them, and they seem to last like gourds do.
And I didn't carve mine because I did the classic. Nylons over them.
They're still, I saw them coming in today.
The lacy black stockings. So they kind of are, they're transitional. It takes you from Halloween all the way to Thanksgiving. Now, back to the using different feathers. I love this idea of getting pheasant feathers. And if you haven't gotten a hurricane vase by now, we hope you will, because we talked about how you can put seasonal candies and then you put a vase inside a vase for different decorative things. But now you can also use seasonal nuts. And then how about this idea of adding moss? moss. So you go to the arts and crafts store and you get that really pretty neon green moss that looks, I think it's called reindeer moss.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you would put like a layer of nuts on the bottom in your hurricane vase, and then a layer of moss, and then another layer of nuts, and then a layer of moss, and then you put some of these beautiful pheasant feathers that you could find at the craft store, and that's right in the center.
That's pretty.
A really pretty centerpiece.
Very, very nice.
And then maybe to the side of that, just use like some apples or pears and put a bowl of that with a candle in the middle. Very inexpensive, simple.
You know what else you can do is get the old plastic fruit and spray paint that copper, gold, or silver.
Oh.
And that works wonders.
Yeah.
Anything's... I've fallen in love with the spray paint.
Well, you have this leftover paint now. You got to get use out of it.
Wait till you see Dusty's costume. We'll put it on the website.
Was it really great?
Fantastic.
And it was a ceiling fan.
Yeah, it was a ceiling fan headpiece with real working lights.
And you used that.
He got extra candy. He blew people away.
Really?
They said, "Oh my God, I want to give you another chocolate bar." He just kind of went, "Thanks." Yeah, that was really helpful.
And that was with the foam board that you used?
That's the foam core board.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, back to pumpkins. In terms of more Thanksgiving decor ideas for your table, because we're getting close to the big dinner, I still love those white pumpkins. And if you have some around the house, it was so sad the other day. I was driving by and it was a pumpkin patch, and the guy was loading up the leftover pumpkins that nobody bought and taking it into his truck.
It was almost like a Disney movie.
It felt
sad. The last of the pumpkins.
And I feel that way at the Christmas tree lots.
I wonder what they do with them.
The ones that no one, well, I'm sure they turn them into pumpkin pie or maybe give them to Salvation Army or, because it's great. It's still good. But if you have the white pumpkins especially, what a really great trick is to combine the gray and the white pumpkins and make a stack. Like a big one, a medium one, and a small one, almost like a snowman with the small on top, and then the biggest one on the base. And then get some of those beautiful magnolia leaves. Those magnolia leaves just scream fall. And just kind of take them and just surround the biggest pumpkin. And now you've got your centerpiece.
Oh, that's kind of good.
Very simple.
Okay, check this out. How about your twigs? And you're going to do a little something different with the twigs. You're now going to cut out little leaves the shape of, a pretty little wispy leaf in multiple colors. Maybe use construction paper, get the red, the gold, the white, and then just attach it to the ends of the little twigs.
Cute.
Right? Now you've got...
In a vase?
You can do a vase, yeah. Right? What's wrong with that? That can be reused next year. You can store that, and then guess what? Bring it right back out.
Love it. Right. Now, if you were into brass tchotchkes in the 70s, brass is really making a comeback.
Yeah.
You may not have saved your brass, or maybe you did. Either way, try to combine some brass, like there's little brass candle holders at the dining room table too. It also speaks fall. And don't forget to bring in some fresh apples and use them like almost in a little topiary if you had a plant. And then you could just use straws and connect these apples so they're kind of sitting in the leaves of the foliage. Anyway, we'll put all these ideas on our website because we're getting you ready for Thanksgiving, darn it, when we have more fun to talk about right here on Home Wizards. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. We love to improve your home and improve your life.